Honorable members of the clan, please, can you please do me one big favor? I am pressed for time, and I don't think this video is going to come out on time as I had planned it. So I'm not going to edit the video as much, and the clip that I am going to react to in the video, you are not going to see it on the screen. Rather, you are going to hear it as I watch and blind reacting to it. I apologize. I truly, truly am sorry. I have this meeting. It's now postponed until 5:30, which is good for me. But I'm asking, please, 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 please do not be mad at me. You're just gonna have to listen a little harder or turn on the volume to hear what I'm reacting to in this video. I think it's important because we should not be made fools of. But thank you. This is Editing Cleanses. Okay, first things first, if you are hearing noise in the background, kids are playing soccer and all that sort of stuff. And secondly, I need to do this video as quickly as I can because I have a meeting with YouTube in about 45 minutes time. So I have to squeeze everything, including editing and posting this video. So guys, there's something that came to my attention because of a video I watched from Thomas Mabasa. Thomas Mabasa, I seem to be poaching from you. But anyways, I was livid watching the Minister of Justice and Constitutional Development. The way she was threatening South Africans and also things that don't make sense to why South Africa is in the way it is. If we have this capacity, we would not be having this conversation today if those apparatuses were working. Okay, what am I talking about? But first, I need to call out, what is this channel called? Newsroom Africa. I want you to hear the presenter, what she says, which is false information. As journalists, your job is to fact check before you open your mouth. And it's quite clear. I mean, this is what we keep saying, that the mainstream media in South Africa is against the people of South Africa. So let's hear how she opens this particular discussion with the minister.
A high-level security briefing in Pretoria. Government is sending a strong warning that the right to protest cannot be used to justify lawlessness. The intervention comes amid growing tensions and marches.
Well, the question I have is, what lawlessness is this? What lawlessness is this she talking about? Because as far as I understand, marches have been peaceful thus far. So what lawlessness is this all about? Okay, maybe I'm the one who's jumping the gun, but let's give her more rope.
A high-level security briefing in Pretoria. Government is sending a strong warning that the right to protest cannot be used to justify lawlessness. The intervention comes amid growing tensions and marches linked to illegal foreign nationals, with the authorities condemning xenophobic violence, looting, and criminality. We talk now to the Minister of Justice and Constitutional Development.
Once again, the marches have never looted before, ever. They've never been violent either, ever. So you see the propaganda that the mainstream media buys from Nigeria, buys from Ghana, and you are also going to listen to talking points of the minister that are exactly what Nigeria propagates against South Africa. So clearly, they took their marching orders from Nigeria and Ghana and other African countries, and we are not going to roll over and play dead. I said, where there is propaganda against South Africans, we are going to debunk that. We're not going to explain ourselves, but we are going to debunk that. Even if it means our own people here in this country, they are spreading propaganda so that South Africans look bad on the international community, we will debunk that.
And especially to focus on government plans in the coming days. Minister, good morning. morning to you. Welcome to the program. Thank you very much for your time. We began our broadcast at ORT Departure Hall this morning with our reporter. I'm not sure if we can, again, show some live picture from that location. However, you're seeing what is, in retrospect, going to be a historic moment. A foreign government, another government, a partner government of South Africa's evacuating its citizens over concerns for their safety.
A partner government. Listen, this is our country. What agreements you guys have with each other up there in the brotherhood to come and make South Africans feel unwelcome in their own country? That's not going to work. You can come up with all kinds of fancy words. Partner government. Partner government, my foot. We are the owners of this country, and we're not going to be told by another government what on earth we need to do. Secondly, evacuating. The last time I checked, when you evacuate your citizens, it's because actively there is danger that is being imposed or superimposed on the citizen. But no, they are relaxed and cruising nicely. That's not an emergency. And I don't think you can even define that as evacuation. It's not evacuation. Evacuation has an element of emergency and urgency. Danger. From what danger is this? You see, selling South Africans to be these savages by our own government. But let's hear what the minister says.
Just love to get your thoughts on those pictures from this morning.
Good morning, Iman, and good morning to our viewers. I do think that is regrettable in the manner that is being done, but it's not the first time, and we are not the first country that evacuation of citizens have been done.
What's regrettable about South Africans saying that you need to be here legally? It's been proven. Out of the 300 that were evacuated, only 10 were legal. 290 were illegal, posing national security threat. And you are saying it's regrettable that the government had to come and evacuate them. I think by the end of this video, South Africans will understand how much this government hates us. And I will keep saying this until we see that this government hates us. It's regrettable. Regrettable when 290 Ghanaians broke the law of this country. What she should say is, well, South Africans have been right all this time. There are illegal people, and these people are putting a strain on service delivery, the budget, you name it. No, let's appease Ghana. Yeah, bunch. Keep voting.
I say it's regrettable because when you're a country, you shouldn't be seen as a country that is unsafe, including for those who have come to your country legally.
How is it unsafe when we've been living with these people for 32 years? Which part of unsafetyness that suddenly popped up when for the past 32 years, I know she's detached from the reality of South Africans, she's ANC. We've been living with these people. We've been asking them, stop hurting us. Stop hurting us. Stop hurting us. Stop hurting us. But it's regrettable that they left, illegal as they are.
So that's our concern, and through Minister of Deco, he's been interacting with his counterparts on the continent, on the region, but globally as well, because UN as well, you remember, the Secretary General had issued a statement on the 27th of April, which we also found that it was not necessarily at that time, because we don't believe that the situation is really out of hand at a point where citizens should be evacuated. While we continue to communicate to our counterparts on the continent and globally, is that like many other countries, we do have challenges of immigration. We're not only the country, you know, other countries have gone to say they want to build walls and all those things. So it's a global phenomenon. But how we react to it and how do we make sure that we interact with citizens, firstly to understand this is a global matter, but to enforce the law so that those who are here illegally.
It's a global matter, and other countries are building a wall. What have you been doing that has brought us here this moment? What accountability is this minister taking so far? No. You know, sometimes when you are at fault, you need to open your statement by saying, as government of the Republic of South Africa, we made a mistake by having porous borders. We did not foresee the problems that these things were going to bring. And then you can throw in Ubuntu and all that nonsense that they always try to blackmail us with.
Are deported, and also those who are here legally are protected. So it's a balancing act, and that's what we've called for South Africans to understand as well. I'm a bit confused.
I don't think any South African will ever understand a deportation of illegal foreigners with a porous border. That's like pouring water into a bucket with holes. Because they sometimes even tell South Africans, "Siyabuya kusasa, we will be back tomorrow." And secondly, what kind of deportation is this where it's selective? You are only deporting people that are in the region. What about those that are coming from Pakistan? What are Pakistanis doing in South Africa to begin with? What war is in Pakistan and Bangladesh? And when you are deporting, why they are not filling up planes back to Pakistan and Bangladesh respectively? And then focusing on West Africa, you know, the nation that is problematic everywhere around the world. Peace Airline is not filled with them being deported by this government. So what exactly are you deporting? Who are you deporting?
Well, let me pick up, Minister, if I can, on what you just said, that you don't believe the situation is out of hand. Number one, you've had that joint meeting with some of these protest organizations, the ones who've been most prolific in the last couple of weeks and months. March and March, for example, when they were in the meeting, of course, there was a walkout. They said you basically had no plan. We had their March leader saying that there was no clear action plan. The March founder, Jacinto Gubesi Zuma, is also demanding halting of all refugee applications. We also know that there is a June 30 deadline that is looming for illegal immigrants to leave the country. Do you not think the picture is actually opposite to what you're saying? That you have it under
Let me
control?
explain, Imam. And it's unfortunate that colleagues did that. I think this is one of the things that we've got to learn as South Africans, to engage in good faith, but also when you go to an engagement, don't go to talk only.
No, we know you. That's why when we walk into a discussion with government, we need to always have that part in our brain that if we are not going to hear something tangible, leave. Leave. So there's no way that you are going to force us and also be imposed on things that we do not believe in because you want to look good. No, that is why some people, they will give you this advice about relationships that do not get into a relationship whole 100%. Go into it with a slight of the possibility that you'll be disappointed. That is South Africans when it comes to this government. Did they did the right thing by walking out? Yes, like I said, I got the invitation, but I did not go. Why? Because these people are not going to say, on these dates, we are taking over the 30th of June, but we are going to impose our own date by asking illegal foreigners to leave the country. But no, their conversation or their discussion or their line of thought is, no, leave them. Leave them. Let them still be here. No, that's not what South Africans want. They want them gone out of their communities. That is what the walkout was all about.
To also listen and receive information. So what four colleagues from March and March alone spoke. And they wanted to speak, more than four of them, above all other organizations that were there. We had many organizations that were there. We had all political parties that we have invited who are represented in Parliament. So March and March 1 wanted to only speak and also leave.
Once again, they are missing the point. Government, much and much, are South Africans. They represent us, the majority of us, of this country, that are saying they must leave. So if Much and Much wants to dominate that conversation, they are the ones that need to listen, not those other NGOs that always take the government to court. So now it's beginning to sound as if the government is the one that's funding these NGOs and other political parties that stand against South Africans, because the ANC stands against South Africans, and therefore the ministers in these positions in government, their job is to push back at South Africans because they hate us. So you should have listened, because Jacinta and three others, they were not there representing themselves. They were there representing a whole of South Africa, yes, with the exception of those that do not believe in what is happening because they live in ivory towers.
Were missing four, and I was chairing the meeting. So I, at some point, paused and requested that, can I allow the departments to clarify issues and to give information? They were not happy because there was a gentleman, I think it was Tolani, who wanted to speak when they had four speakers already. And I said, there are other parties who are in, it was at around 3, where other parties were saying, we've scheduled the meeting until 3, they would like to leave, but before they leave, they've requested me to answer, to get ministers and deputy ministers to answer their questions. So I halted, because we had concluded all the organizations that were on the platform. So you can imagine, from the time we started, we did a presentation of about 30 minutes. From there, I opened for them to give feedback, to give inputs in what we had given them. Out of those, then we needed to respond. So quite a number of issues that were coming through was more about their unhappiness about how we are dealing, and we wanted to explain those things. And they walked out. Actually, I was not even aware that they had walked out at that time, because those, Jacinta, for example, was online. The gentleman went, because people would go out, do interviews, go to the bathroom, come back in the meeting. So we gave all that information. So it's unfortunate that at the time, information of going forward, of what needs to be done going forward, the person was out. So the first approach was explain what has been done, what are the rules, what is being done, and then we engage, and then out of those to say, how do we go forward? So it can't be correct that the state has no plan at all.
Okay, we'll get to maybe the detail. In fact,
What is the plan, state? What is the plan? Because what South Africans want is a date. You see, when you have a date, now you are talking. When are they leaving? That's the plan. By giving a date, take over the 31st of June, and then you tell us, as government, this is the date we have for illegal foreigners to leave South Africa. And this is what we are going to do to ensure that happens.
let's just share give us the two main highlights of the government's plan as of this morning.
The government plan, one, continues to be deportation, in terms of us making sure that those who are illegal here are returning. There's Labor Department that...
Who are those illegal foreigners that you are deporting? Can we at least have a bi-weekly report from the Minister of Home Affairs to say, so many Nigerians were deported, show proof. So many Ghanaians were deported, show proof. So many Ethiopians were deported, show proof. So many Somalis were deported, show proof, etc. and so on. That includes Pakistanis and Bangladeshis. We don't want to hear this. We don't trust you no more. We now believe in tangibility, something we can see, something we can smell, something we can touch. We don't trust y'all. And when it comes to labor, I'm sure when she was done here, they went to some restaurant and they were served by Zimbabwean waitresses and waiters. And the manager of those waiters and waitresses is also a Zimbabwean. The chef, probably a Nigerian or something of that nature. Not even one South African. You have no plan. You have no plan because you hate South Africans.
As inspections in workplace, Department of Home Affairs together with SAPS do in terms of their operations regularly, in terms of making sure that those who are illegal here are arrested and are deported. And that happens weekly.
Lies.
3 is also in terms of border improvement. We have made sure that over the past 3 years, we've been improving in the border management, establishment of BMA.
She's not going to mention the number of BMA officials we have. Well, let me say it for you. 800. There are 63 million South Africans in this country. Our borders are guarded by 800 border management agents. And this is a serious government with a plan. Hey, guys, do not allow yourselves to be fooled.
Also equipping it with necessary tools. Recently, you would have seen Iman, Minister of Home Affairs, going there to launch the cars that are able to go in. I don't know have the right word, they would know technically. That are even able to go into the water to be able to monitor the borderline. There's been issues of drones technology used at that border post. There's been cars that have been bought to be able to ensure that those that are found there are being able to track. So it can't be that there's no plan. So the plan continues to improve borderline, to improve security in the borders, to deport, to inspect, and to ensure that those who are here illegally are immigrated. Then lastly, to
What is the date they all should have gone out of South Africa? When is that date? South Africans have put the 30th. It's not March and March, by the way, because that's what the mainstream media is saying. March and March has said it over and over and over again. The 30th of March was not declared by March and March. And it's true. They never did. And they don't promote it.
in terms of the systems of Home Affairs on asylum seekers. We welcome to the court judgment because that's one of the areas that was a weakness, where asylums were allowed to apply and reapply while they're in the country without documentation. Now, the court has affirmed government stands to say you apply once as an asylum, once it's declined, then you need to leave the country. And that will help going a long way. This was in less than 3 weeks ago. That will help government a long way because majority of the people were sitting under the disguise of asylum seekers, and this is one of the progresses that we're making.
Yeah, I mean, we've interviewed various individuals who said the government has been too slow. You've left the matter for citizens to resolve on their own. And given what you say, these concrete plans are there. Some might say some of these are not new. Government has been deporting. We had the Lindela repatriation facility. It's been there for years and years. So that's not a new plan. Perhaps we can say the BMA is new. Technology might be new. But are you convinced that this is going to change the mind of South Africans, that government is doing something and that government's plans are going to be effective in dealing with their direct concerns?
I think the first thing, Iman, that we must say to South Africans, because we would be lying to them, that when we remove people, then that's it. It's not correct. Immigration continues to be an issue across the world. For example, many people who come and end up illegal in the country didn't come illegally. So some people come with proper papers, they expire, both from the continent and globally. They expire and then they are not. So what we need to improve as well is the issue of tracing those individuals in the country so that if you have arrived with a visa, and this is a global phenomenon as well, it's not only South Africa that has difficulty with this, and then you find, let me make an example. If, as I say, we shouldn't lie to South Africans that when we remove, we deport, there's not going to be foreigners. It's not correct. If anyone says that is lying, look at countries like Egypt. That's why Egypt, when it has more than 10.3 immigrants in their country. And Europe pays them to keep those people not to go to Europe. So migration continues, and we look at the numbers, it continues to grow. You can look at US. US says we don't want immigrants. We build the borders, but continuously you still have even illegal foreign nationals in those those countries, and that's why the president today will talk about this. So if South Africa can say to citizens, you'll never have illegal immigrants, it will be wrong, and it will be lying to them. What we
You are trying to intellectually manipulate South Africans by saying that whether we like it or not, South Africa will have illegal foreigners in our midst. No, no, this is not what we want, ma'am. What we want is a date. Tell us the date. When are they leaving? We understand the whole immigration, migration, and all that stuff. We understand all of those things. We also understand as South Africans that we do lack some certain skills and we need those skills. And those skills may be in the hands of those that are not South Africans. We understand, don't patronize us. We understand all of those things. But when it comes to illegality, you are basically saying, well, the government is going to fail at this, so just deal with it. Says cartel, ma'am. It's cartel.
are saying is that those who arrive and for some reason find themselves within our borders illegally, our duty as government is to be able to find them and take them out. And we must work.
And this is where, because they come to our communities, the moment they've done sightseeing and then seen the beauty of South Africa, and then they say, I actually don't have to leave. All I have to do is blend in with the population. And the population know them, that they are illegally in the country. And so that is why South Africans at this point where you guys are saying, oh, this is the job of immigration and the police and what. But they are in our communities committing crimes. And I think there is a provision in the Criminal Procedure Act that gives South Africans the right to do some house arrests. We have very corrupt police. The same police that you're saying we must hand them over to or report them to, they take bribes. And then when they come back because we told on them, they unalive us. Give us a date. Because after the 30th, asibafuni in our communities. You're going to have to take them elsewhere, not in our communities. Give us a date.
together as citizens.
Sorry to
What
interject,
we
Minister.
okay, no, it's fine.
Yeah,
It's
these are
fine.
some of the things that, organizations like March and March, and we talk about them because they seem to be, have captured the public imagination. There are many people, we see them out in the streets marching with them and supporting them.
Imran, nobody's imagination was caught. Imagination. You know what that means? It means it's something that's not real. It's something it's somewhere in our brains. We are not going through life experiences with these people that we no longer want in our communities. So March and March came and captured our imagination, the things that we are imagining. Hey, mainstream media, what is wrong with you? What have we done to you?
Are saying these are issues we tried to raise with government for years and years. You haven't dealt with it effectively. We're left in our communities to bear the brunt. This is to paraphrase some of their concerns, and you haven't heard us. So saying that it continues isn't grasping the magnitude of the issue.
No, it's not correct, Iman. One of the issues as well we did in that meeting was to showcase the cases that government has been taken to court. I think there's one now where an NGO is taking a municipality that says that you have an obligation to protect foreign nationals and they should not be attacked in this 21 days to the 30th. So there's quite a number of court cases.
Ma'am, you are a minister and your political parties has lawmakers. They can put an end to this tomorrow if they wanted to. Where NGOs are now the government of the day and they're acting like government of the day. You are disputing and invalidating the day-to-day life of a South African, and you're saying it's untrue. And now you are bringing in something that we have a very big problem with, NGOs. A whole NGO taking a municipality to force the municipality to protect illegal foreigners. Ever heard of choice? Freedom of choice. It's in our constitution. We choose not to live with them no more. We choose. Asisabafuni.
Where in terms of human rights and the constitution, that you can't do this because part of the issue is that we needed to have systems as government to be able to say, how do we remove the foreign nationals? But the issue is that because there was no policy, for example, of first country of origin or arrival that would have been there. We've improved on this. So it's not correct that over the years there's not been improvement. Because previously, somebody could pass 2 countries and come. Now the policy, the white paper that Home Affairs has...
Mam Kubai, Pakistanis are still here. Ethiopians are still here. Somalis are still here. Bangladeshis are still here. Nigerians are still here. What mechanism are you talking about? Nothing has improved. Instead, they are flocking even more into South Africa. Why are we being made a fool of?
It says no. If you pass 2 countries, you can't be accepted. It's improvement. Number 2 is to remove the refugees centers from the inland to the borders. That's improvement because we've learned the weaknesses and what causes the systems to be weak. So it can't be correct.
She is lying to South Africans. This is still in the pipeline. It's a white paper. The white paper is not even green paper just yet, where now Parliament is going to debate it and then agree on it, and then send it to the president for him to sign it, and then it becomes the law. That has not happened. These people are with us, and we don't want them no more. Give us a date. Give us a date, and we will take all of this serious. No date, nothing serious we're going to take from government.
Government has not done anything. So because initially, what people would do would arrive at the border and say, I'm in Asalan, and they would be allowed to come in towards Marabastad, for example, in Pretoria. In the process, some of them would vanish, others would stay, and then while they're waiting for the application, they get integrated into the society. Because as a country, we took a decision not to have refugee camps. Now, the change would be that when you arrive, you are saying you are a refugee, you'll be at the border. Your application, everything will be processed at the border point. And that's where, if you are rejected, then you turn back from that point. That's the improvement, and that's the change that we're doing as government. So it's not correct to say that we have not done anything. And we are appealing to all organizations, including March on March. They must stop marching and doing what is the work of law enforcement agencies. They are not legally permitted in the country to do raiding, to verify passport. Is not within the law, and that's what we are communicating.
When did March and March go around asking for people's documentation, doing the job of Home Affairs and Immigration? When was that? Do you see the talking points are Nigerian talking points and Ghanaian talking points, where they tell the South African government, it's your job to do this, it's your job to do that, not the citizen. Unleash the army.
Number 2 is that protests are allowed in this country. Marches are allowed, and they must be within peaceful framework. And
they have been peaceful. And secondly, what you should also say in your speech, ma'am, is that South Africans, they have the right to chase out people in their communities that they no longer want. That should be part of your speech, because we do have that right. You can't force us to take in people or still have people we no longer want in our communities.
we do not want to be seen as government constraining South Africans as if we are favoring foreign nationals. We are not. But
No, touch a foreigner right now. She'll be number 1. When I say touch, I mean like approach a foreign national and tell the foreign national, why aren't you in your country fixing it? She will jump. Please, guys, stop making a fool of us. We've experienced this government. That is why we want these people gone so that we can fix our country, starting with our government. We want to understand, why does this government hate us? That will be our point of departure.
We are urging them that let's not have things that are getting out of line. We can't, as a state, fold our arms and say, because it's our citizens, therefore we can't arrest them. Even when we see that they are doing illegal things. So that's the communication, and that was the intention even for Monday.
So March and March has issued that June 30th deadline for undocumented immigrants to leave the country, and they're also a warning of a national shutdown.
Correction, Imran. March and March has never issued a date of the 30th of June. Never. And they've emphatically said this over and over and over again. Why are you spreading propaganda? Why are you spreading propaganda? Is it your intention to provoke the minister to have a ground to unleash the army? Because March and March has put a date of the 30th. The March and March has never given a date of the 30th. Never. You can go to all the things that March and March has said. They never did that. And on top of that, yeah, there will be a national shutdown because we do have the right to take to the streets and protest. That one is going to happen. We are going to protest peacefully. But in our peaceful marching, when we come back home, we don't want to see your favorites in our communities. When we come back from the streets, they must have packed up and left to your homes. Because you guys love them so much. Accommodate them in your communities up there in the ivory tower. Because where we are at, Asisaba Fudi.
If government doesn't act, how seriously are you treating that ultimatum? Are you concerned at all? What is intelligence telling you about, a repeat of scenes that we might have seen in July of 2021?
We have said to them that their lessons out of July 2021 is that if marches and protests gets out of hand, we lose properties. The same concern that we have about jobs, it means we are impacting on the jobs and the jobs will be lost. Number two is that the same incident, we might end up with people losing their lives, and somebody must be held accountable should any lives are lost.
Now, let's talk about this very important government apparatus, the intelligence. Had the intelligence were working, we would not be having this discussion today. If the intelligence of this country was working, or it actually exists, we would not be in this situation. If the intelligence of this country worked, there would not be tuck shop mafia or spaza shop mafia. If indeed we have intelligence, that charades that was played by the Somali community in Sandton 2 weeks ago wouldn't have happened, where they even used our a coat of arms. That would not have happened. If the intelligence of this country worked, South Africa will be a country that is not leading in organized crime. So you are saying that the marches of the 30th are going to be infiltrated. We know that they get infiltrated. We know that marches get infiltrated by nefarious groups of people, so that if they break into stores, they start burning things, all of that gets attributed to the organizers of the march. This is where intelligence come in to prevent something like that from happening. The ghosts supposed to be ghosting, making sure that they know who is going to be problematic on the 30th of June, because it's not going to be March and March. And therefore, we will ask you, Minister, where was the intelligence now that you are arresting people that have nothing to do with somebody probably losing their life, or a spaza shop gets burned down, or somebody's vehicle? Where was the intelligence? Where was the intelligence? So who needs to be held accountable? The government, not March and March organizers. You are just thirsty to shut this down. Even if you do shut March and March down, These are still our communities. You're not going to tell us who to live with us in our communities. That you're not going to do.
But our intention as the state is to protect lives and to protect properties. And we are urging them because we can't stop them, Iman. We do not have the constitutional right to stop them, the legal right to stop them. So they can march. What we are appealing to them is that their marches must be peaceful. Secondly, is that they must make application because even including March on March was saying to us in the meeting that certain posters that they are seeing,
they must make application. The Constitution doesn't say that. The Constitution allows us to take to the streets peacefully and protest. Must nokudlala nini.
circulating are not theirs, actually. They even said, and we said to them, we do believe that some of these matches are going to be infiltrated from the information that we have. And if they're infiltrated and something terrible happens, the leaders and the organizers are going to have to take responsibility. And we are saying, let's work together so that we protect the leaders of these organizations. We protect the marchers who are their supporters, but we also protect citizens of this country.
Minister, thanks for your time this morning.
So if these marches are going to be infiltrated, like we know they will be infiltrated, and you have that information, then make arrests. You know who they are, right? Make arrest of those people who are planning, because that is conspiracy to commit a crime, isn't it? So why must you wait until the marchers take to the streets without even knowing that they are infiltrated, and those infiltrators are now burning property and probably even unaliving people? You have that information, so start working on it. I agree. The July 2021 unrest should be a lesson and serve as a lesson to the government. This government hates us, Shem. And the media, oh, they're loving it. They are making up things that were never said. Anyways, guys, I think your time is gone. I'm literally left with 2 minutes for this meeting. Anyways, guys, whatever you do, we don't trust the government, unfortunately. I don't trust the government. I don't think much and much trust the government or any South African that is going through hell and back with our visitors who want to overtake our country. Others are even calling us children of slaves. Yeah, the Somalis. That's how low they think of even the minister herself, because she's black. Anyways, guys, whatever you do, let's protect this country. Let's protect this country with everything we've got. Everything. And I'll see you guys a little bit later. Goodbye.